Good morning, Laurel Holland here. It's Monday, December 10th, 2012. I'm coming to you this morning from my yoga mat. I'm taking a sick day today. I'm actually taking really good care of myself today. I've been fighting a virus for a couple weeks and it's time to stop, rest, and really pay attention for the whole day to me and how I feel and what I need in order to get better. So I'm starting you out with my Monday message today with an example of how to break the cultural norm, the cultural patterns, and being stuck in the cultural trance that many of us are in today. Last week I mentioned the book Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill, and I told you I was going to talk about another important thing from the book, and so I am doing that today. He calls being in a trance being in a hypnotic rhythm. And being in a hypnotic rhythm means that you really just fall into a pattern of behaving and thinking and being in relationship to what's going on around you. Unless and until you are really wide awake and truly conscious, being very clear and definite in all your intentions and purposes of things that you do, moment to moment to moment. I talk about this consistently in my work with clients, how it's up to us to break the cultural patterns and habits that are out there today. We have so many self-defeating, self-limiting, and actually self-destructive patterns. Let's start with food and nutrition. Wow, we're in big trouble, okay? We know the stats. We know how many people are overweight, under-exercised, aren't moving enough and connected with their body. Years ago, more than 2 decades ago, I started taking Tai Chi. Now, it wasn't the norm to be taking Tai Chi classes or yoga classes or doing meditation then. Now it's much more acceptable, and I think it's kind of a regular practice in many circles, so it's okay to talk about. But years ago, people weren't doing that, and I really broke the cultural pattern and let myself start getting involved with and developing routines of meditation and doing daily Tai Chi practice, and wow, did it change my life. Wow, did I learn how to center and calm and soothe myself. Wow, did I learn how to stay centered and grounded and strong when I came into a situation in which I felt conflict, or in which I felt anxiety, or which I became afraid in any way. I knew how to practice staying centered and grounded through my Tai Chi practice. So I'm inviting you today to think about ways that you might start to break some of the cultural patterns and the cultural trance that you're in and you're not even aware of. What can you wake up to today? What can you notice that you're doing that isn't authentically you, that doesn't authentically resonate with what's in your heart and with what your soul really wants? Because anything that you're doing that doesn't resonate with your heart and isn't in tune and in line with what your soul wants is causing you at some level some sort of anxiety or conflict or stress. That's the truth of it. So let's see where you can go with that this week. Start to notice. This is a great season to be doing this. One of the major patterns right now in our culture with the holidays is ho, 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 and everything's cheer, 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 and joy, joy, joy. Well, those are wonderful practices this time of year, and actually we need some of that to offset what is the natural inclination of our being. The natural inclination of our being this season is to turn inward, to go into the depths of our being, and to acknowledge the losses and the sadnesses of the year, as well as to celebrate the goodness and the joy. We've dropped off the acknowledging the losses and the sadness part, and we've dropped off the grieving part, which is a natural inclination at this time of the year for our being. The days are darker, they're shorter. We want to turn inward. We need to acknowledge that. We need to grieve in critical ways so that we can be freed up to be truly present in the moment and really experience some of the joy and some of the cheer of the season. So there's another idea for you this week. What do you need to grieve? What do you need to acknowledge in terms of losses and sadnesses that you might be trying to bypass this season? And how can you give yourself some time to do that? It's really important that you do, so that you can find yourself really truly present to the joy of the season. Have a great week.